To brothers and sisters in Christ Jesus, life in Palestine in the time of Jesus was very hard. In those days, the popular means of transport was on foot. People walked a long distance on rough, dusty roads to go from Galilee to Jerusalem. For example, travelers often arrived their destination with painful feet. As a sign of hospitality, the receiver would see that his guests were given massage as a way of relieving their pains. This was usually done by the house servants or slaves. This service of bathing and soothing the tired feet was also provided by the rest houses or inn found along the highways. Travelers with tired along the way could go into these rest houses and have food and foot bath. Their energy restored, and they would be able to continue and complete their journey. That is how such rest houses along the way got the name restaurant. They restored strength to tired and exhausted travelers on the way. The disciples would have understood Jesus washing their feet in light of this cultural background. And for us, it is a pointer to the meaning of the Eucharist we celebrate. Dear friends, we understood Eucharist in light of the washing of feet. The Eucharist is a place of restoration for the people on the way. The life of Christian in the world is a pilgrimage, a long, hard journey. Along the way, we get tired and we are tempted to give up and turn back. But Jesus has provided us with the Eucharist as a place where we can go in to bathe our paining feet and to be refreshed in body and soul for the journey that is still ahead. When we give communion to a sick person, we call it viatico, which means provisions for a journey. The Eucharist is always a viatico. In the Eucharist, we derive strength to continue our upward journey toward God. In the Gospel, we find that Peter was uncomfortable with having Jesus wash his feet. Peter was an activist who would have preferred to see himself doing the washing the feet of Jesus and even of the other disciples. Sometimes it is harder to allow someone else to bathe us than it is to bathe someone else, as everybody can tell you. But having our feet washed and washing the feet of others are two sides of the coin we call the Christian life. The first and most essential thing is to allow the Lord to wash us. As Jesus said to Peter, "Unless I wash you, you have no share with me." First, the Lord washes us and make clean so that we belong to the Lord. Only then we are qualified and empowered to wash the feet of our brothers and sisters in the Lord. When this truth dawned on Peter, he overcame his reluctance and cried out, "Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head." For this to happen, all that the Lord needs from us is simply for us to be there and to present ourselves to Him and to allow Him wash us. The other side of the coin, which is equally important, is that after our feet have been washed by the Lord, we must go and wash the feet of others. After Jesus had washed his disciples' feet, he said to them, "Do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for that is what I am. So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have set you an example that you also should do as I have done to you." Dear friends, Jesus establishes a close link between him washing the disciples' feet and the disciples washing the feet of the others. If the Eucharist is the place where the Lord washes our feet, daily life is the place where we ought to wash the feet of others. Eucharist leads to life. Life leads to Eucharist. True Eucharist must lead to service of others. Jesus, who broke the bread of the Eucharist, also washed the feet of his disciples. We must follow his example, both at the altar of the Eucharist and at the altar of life. Amen.